this video, I'm gonna go over how to teach your baby to clap their hands. I'm first gonna go over some preparatory activities, then I will go over activities to help them learn the skill of clapping, and then last, I'm gonna provide some tips on how to help your baby learn to clap. Before you teach your baby how to clap using their hands, you'll want to ensure that they have the requisite skills in order to learn how to clap with their hands. And so the requisite skills are being able to use both hands to do something in the middle of their body. And so there's two types of ways that you can do this with your child. The first is promoting activities where the child is holding an object in one hand and then using their other hand to manipulate that object. So an example would be opening the lid off a jar. And so if your child is having a hard time doing that, you can lift the lid up a little bit so that way there's less resistance so the child will be able to pull off the lid more easily. In order to entice your child to pull off the lid, you can always just hide an item on the inside, which will encourage them to want to open the lid. The second is having your child practice activities where they are doing equal but opposite movements with both of their arms. So essentially they'll be working on pulling apart and pushing together. So some examples of activities include pulling apart, say, a sensory tube, or say pulling apart one of those matching eggs. Your child may even be interested in trying to match the egg back together, in which case you can give them the one that has the circle on the inside, as that will be much easier for them to try to fit back together. Now that your child has gotten really good at being able to engage in activities that require both hands in the middle of their body, they'll be ready to learn the skill of clapping their hands. And so there are two ways that you can teach your child how to clap their hands. The first is through use of sing-song. So of course, a classic is If You're Happy and You Know It. But really any song works because your child will watch you clapping, and so then they will see that that's a part of the song or a way that we engage with music, and therefore they will be likely to reproduce that. And so the second way to teach your child to clap is through praise. So after your child has accomplished something that either they're really proud of and or you're really proud of, clapping is of course a natural response as well as that verbal praise. And the great thing about that is that it's also reinforcing to the child, which will mean that they'll want to continue to do that behavior because they see that it makes you happy. And so they'll want to continue to do it in order to continue to get that reaction from you. So lastly, I'm gonna go over 4 tips on how to help your child learn the skill of clapping. And so my first tip is to provide hand-over-hand assistance as needed. Your child may benefit initially from you physically guiding their hands together to learn to clap. And as you see that they are able to grasp that, you can start fading that away. My second tip is for you to frequently and consistently model clapping during the day. So that means praise your child often during the day so that way they see that clapping is something that people do. My third tip is to frequently and consistently provide opportunities for your child to engage in activities that require clapping. So frequently engage in sing-song with your child so that way they have many opportunities during the day to learn the clapping skill. And my last tip is to vary the speed at which you are clapping. Because children are interested in the unexpected, they will likely pay attention more to you when you're clapping if your cadence or speed is not what they are anticipating. And so those are my tips and activities to teach your child how to learn the skill of clapping. Thanks for watching my video.